Hey Shelby, what are we going to talk about tonight? Are we going to talk about how the football team scored lots of goals and the track team cross country team hit the hardwood?
No. Easy killer. You've been spending too much time on the morning show. It's time to think sports. Get it straight, okay?
Sorry.
Let's just roll the open. How did the football team respond to the last week's loss to Simpson? We have the answer.
And Mark Lushow joins us here in the locker room.
And we go inside the numbers with the cross-country team. This is SportsKnight. Kelsey, a lot of the fall teams were in action last week.
That's right, and we have all the highlights right here on SportsKnight.
That's right, let's start on the gridiron. After a heartbreaking loss in Indianola last week, the Wartburg football team was in Storm Lake taking on Buena Vista in search of their first Iowa Conference win. Let's see how they did. J.J. Hannes made his first career start due to Logan Schrader separating his shoulder, and on the night's first drive, Hannes found Donald Miller to put Wartburg up 7-0. Buena Vista wasn't impressed by Wartburg's rushing defense, one of the best in the nation, as John Hill breaks free down the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown to tie the score. But Reese Thompson began his big day by putting the Knights in front on this 15-yard run, 14-7 Wartburg, as Thompson goes untouched into the end zone. Later, Brandon Domeyer will punch it home, but Frank LeConte missed the extra kick, and Wartburg leads 20-7. BV tries a little trickery later in the second quarter as Jalen Henningsen takes the reverse and breaks a few tackles on his way to the end zone. Beavers cut the lead to 6. But have no fear, Hannes led the Knights down the field once again, capping it off with this 5-yard touchdown run. Knights lead 27-14 at halftime. The Beavers cut the lead to 6 once again as Bobby Brown finds Adam Cave in the back of the end zone. But Hannes delivers a beautiful pass down the sideline to Logan Ruffridge, who stumbles into the end zone to put Wartburg in front for good. The Knights defense stepped up big in the second half as Martin Hyatt and Joey Nag team up to sack Brown for a huge loss. Then Mark Lushow steps in front of the receiver for an interception to end any hopes of a BV comeback. That interception is going to set up Thompson's second touchdown run of the day to make the final score Wartburg 42, Buena Vista 21.
I was a little nervous at first, but once I got settled in there, after that first drive and that score, I got a lot more, you're just used to the game tempo and everything.
We came up with some big plays when we needed them, but they made some big plays too, and we've got to find a way to get that corrected.
Now that win improves Wartburg's record to 3-2 overall and 1-1 in Iowa Conference play. The Knights host rival Luther Saturday at 1 p.m. That game can be seen live right here on Wartburg Television, with pregame starting at 12:30.
The women's golf team traveled to Pella this weekend for the IIAC Championship and captured their 6th straight title. Wartburg had 4 all-conference performers: senior Kelsey Swatsky, sophomore Samantha Heinen, and freshman Taylor Roberts and Molly McDonough. This is the 11th straight year that the team has had multiple all-conference players, and the 3rd straight for Swatsky. With the win, the team automatically qualifies for the NCAA Championships in May for the 10th straight year. The number 18 ranked women's soccer team took to the pitch Saturday night looking to go 3-0 in conference play after defeating Simpson 5-1 Thursday in Indianola. SportsKnight Justin Saccone was there, so let's roll those moving pictures. The Knights got started right off the bat with a goal by senior Lauren Baker 11 minutes in to take a 1-0 lead. The score stayed that way until senior Kathy Ryder capitalized on a penalty kick in the 37th minute to double the lead to 2. Wartburg's defense became a steel curtain in the second half as they did not allow a single shot. They took home the victory with a final score of 2-0. Goalie Monica Nodi basically took the second half off as the game was played on Coe's side of the field for much of the half. Wartburg is still undefeated in IAC play with a 3-0 record. The Lady Knights will look to stay perfect Tuesday when they host Buena Vista, which kicked off at 5:30.
The men's soccer team is looking to maintain its recent hot streak that started when they beat the 12th ranked UW Whitewater last week. On Thursday, they traveled to Indianola to face the Storm of Simpson. The Knights came out of that match with a tie and were aiming to get their first conference win Saturday against Co. Wartburg got things started right out of the gate as senior Brandon Cook takes the feed from Zubin Azari for the score. The Knights would strike again just minutes later as classmate Bob Brown puts one in the back of the net for his first goal of the year. Co punched back with a goal by senior Jake Johnson to put the Co-Hawks within one. The Co-Hawks then tied it up with another goal before halftime as both sides went into the second half even at 2. The gridlock lasted for most of the second half until sophomore Dan Nadeau broke the tie with this header in the 75th minute to give the Knights a 3-2 advantage. They weren't done though as Cook completed a breakaway coming up right here the very next minute for his second goal of the game. And the Orange and Black are going to take this one 4-2. Let's hear what Coach had to say.
If you watch the second half to the first half, it was completely different in terms of intensity and energy. And, you know, if we keep that up in terms of, energy and stuff, then other teams can't keep up with us.
Now Cook has become the offensive leader for the squad after tallying multiple goals for the second straight weekend. The Orange and Black will look to keep the momentum rolling tonight, when Buena Vista came to town. That game started at 7:30. Still to come on Sports Night, I shine our senior spotlight on a senior that has been killing it on the hardwood. More Sports Night in just 2 minutes. Welcome back. The 15th ranked women's volleyball team hosted their Knights Classic Invitational this past weekend.
The Knights' first match-up was Friday night in Levick Arena, facing off St. Olaf. The women made this a quick match, sweeping St. Olaf 3-0, winning 25-11, 25-14, and 25-21. The Knights own St. Olaf in terms of stats, leading the Olies in digs, kills, blocks, and aces. After that win, the Knights went head-to-head against 77th-ranked St. Olaf in the matchup of the night. Let's roll those highlights. The Knights were able to make some big moves in the first set, the first coming from junior Maddie Forsyth as she spikes the ball hard. The Tommies strike back, though, as sophomore Kelly Foley hits it past Jamie Farley to take a 14-13 lead. The Black and Orange soon surge ahead, and Bailey Wilson gets the game point. Wartburg wins 19-25. The Tommies are seeking revenge, and St. Thomas's Jill Greenfield puts it down in this hit. St. Thomas wins the second set 25-21. The Knights take an early 8-point lead, only to be caught up by the Tommies later. But Maddie Forsyth puts it down hard as Knights win the third set 25-20. The two teams went neck and neck the fourth set, but junior Kelly Neiman just can't get it over the net, and Knights lose 25-23. The Knights couldn't recover as the Tommies win the last set 15-13. This marks the fourth loss for the Knights this season.
On the final day of the tournament, the Knights rebounded from their tough Friday night loss against St. Thomas by sweeping both Nebraska Wesleyan and Gustavus Adolphus. In the first match, the Knights dominated the Prairie Wolves of Nebraska Wesleyan, sending them home in 3 straight, winning 30-28, 25-21, and sealing the victory with a 25-10 win in the third and final match. Senior Brilton Seek had a match-high 20 kills, while her sister Ramey led the team in digs with 15. In the second game, the Knights were just as dominant. Let's roll those highlights. Against Gustavus Adolphus, the 15th-ranked Knights got off to a slow start, but the play of the Seek sisters would help them rally as Britling gets the kill off her sister Ramey's assist early in the first set. Knights take the first match by a final of 25-18. In the second match, it was more of the same for the Knights, with the Gusties unable to return this ace from freshman Jamie Farley. The Knights would continue building on their early lead and win the second set 25-15 on this game-winning kill by Kelly Neiman. In the third, Ramey would show off her strong serving skills, getting the ace here, putting the final nail in the coffin. Wartburg would go on to win the final game 25-14, giving the Knights a sweep. Afterwards, SportsKnight's Seth Nutting caught up with Coach Walker to get her reaction from the weekend.
The team is a team that does not get rattled emotionally. They just continue to plow through and keep playing, and those are the results you get when a team is consistent like that.
The number 15 ranked Knights ended the tournament 3-1, moving to 20-4 overall on the year. Both Britland and Ramey were named to the all-tournament team.
One of the keys to the volleyball team's success is senior Britland Seek.
This week, I shined our senior spotlight on the lone senior on the volleyball team.
If you look at the Wartburg varsity volleyball roster, there's one name and number that have been on there for 4 years. Number 7, Britland Seek. This senior has been an important member of the volleyball team since her freshman year.
She came in and we knew she'd be an impact player from the day she stepped in our gym, and she really has fulfilled that role.
Seek's numbers throughout the years have been tremendous. She holds multiple Wartburg records for individual season kills and career kills. She currently sits at 3rd on Wartburg's list of career kills with 1,403. Even though Britland has these impressive individual stats, that is not what's important to her.
I like to make sure that all my teammates are right up there with me and on the positive side, and I like to win.
She's always been team. She's never, even from day one, it's always been about team, and so that's difficult to replace.
This year, Seek is the only senior on the volleyball team. Coach Walker says that she has taken on the role very well.
She's doing a phenomenal job this year. She's stepping up and guiding the team and saying, this isn't good enough. This isn't good enough for Wartburg volleyball, and this is where we need to be, and every single day is where we need to be there.
I always believe that we can win, and I just try to make sure that all my teammates believe that too.
Britland is not the only Seek you will find on the roster. Her sister Ramey is a junior on the team.
I love having her on the team. Like, we're best friends, and we've played together so long, and we get along so well that it's just nice to have her there on the court with me.
They're true sisters, but I tell you what, they don't argue on the court.
In practice, when she's a right side and I'm an outside, she will block me once in a while, and she gets super excited about it, and sometimes she just goes so overboard. But then she realizes, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, that was a really good block, so you should be happy about it.
Britland is also a member of the Wartburg track and field team. Coach says that her experience on that team brings something to the volleyball team that other players can learn.
She's been a part of a national championship program with track and field, and she's trying to bring that into our program and teach these athletes that it takes a lot. It's hard to win a national title, and for her to bring that in and teach that to our athletes before we've had the opportunity to get there and do that is so huge for our program.
Since Seek has been a key player for the Knights for 4 years now, Coach Walker says it will not be easy to find someone to fill Britland's role.
A big empty hole is what she's going to leave behind. It's going to be so hard to replace her just because of how she's matured and developed and what she's become in the senior year to our program.
I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done playing this year because I can't imagine myself never not playing competitively.
Reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Shelby Granath.
Coming up in Sports Night, we still have lots to get through. Mark Lucia will join my co-host in the locker room to discuss the Luther game and what the rest of the season holds.
Plus, the cross-country team hosted the annual Dan Houston meet. We'll see how they fared. More Sports Night in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Sports Night. Joining me now in the locker room is senior linebacker Mark Lucia. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
No problem.
Okay, now coming into this season, there were 8 returning starters on defense. How important was that?
That was huge. Having people coming back that knew what they were doing, they knew the role. Had a few people that had to just step in, and they caught on real fast.
Okay. Now, since there's a new quarterback this year, did that add pressure onto the defense that you guys knew you would have to come up with some big plays?
Yeah, we knew we couldn't expect a whole lot out of the offense. Consistently, there'd be rough moments for them, so we'd have to carry the load most of the time.
Do you feel like so far you guys have carried the load?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How did you get back on track last week after your loss to Simpson?
We just had to put it behind us, similar to last year's game. Sometimes things go a bit wrong in games, but you can't let those kind of games make you lose 2.
Was it tough losing to Simpson 2 years in a row?
Yeah. Nightmare.
What are some keys to keep you guys competitive in the conference?
We have to keep doing what we do best on defense and on offense, but we can't worry about what the other teams are doing, who's winning, who's losing. We just got to do what we do.
Okay, how are things looking for Luther this week?
They're a good team. It's a rivalry game. Every time we play them, doesn't matter what our records are, it's always close, so it should be the same thing.
How does it feel this year, your senior year, playing Luther at home?
Feels good. Should be exciting.
Okay. It's your senior year, as I mentioned. Has that hit you yet?
Not yet, but when it does, it's not going to be fun.
When do you think it will hit you?
I don't know.
Have you thought about it at all? Just you know, this is my last year every time you go out?
I've thought about it, but it hasn't sunk in yet. It just feels like it's the same old thing.
Okay. Now, there's a large amount of seniors on defense this year. How have you guys been preparing the juniors and younger guys to step up next year?
They've been getting like a lot of reps in practice, and even in some of our games when we're up, they'll come in. So and they've stepped in just fine. They'll be fine after our class is gone.
Okay, who are some guys who you've really seen step up this year?
Martin Hyatt would be one. Ryan Billings has done a great job. He switched positions a little bit, but he's been doing fine. Spencer Capitan, he's been doing great. So.
Okay. Have you been surprised with some of the conference games this year? Loris beating Luther, stuff like that?
A little bit. Simpson's been a surprise, especially after they beat us and they went and beat Central last week. So that's been surprising. But.
How hard has it been trying to get the team motivated when it's two freshman quarterbacks?
It's not too tough on the defensive side anyway.
Right.
We know we have to do what we have to do, but for offense, I'm not sure what they've been doing.
Okay. Have you been impressed so far with what you've seen out of the quarterbacks?
Oh yeah, especially last weekend with JJ stepping in there. We weren't sure what to expect, and he played excellent. So.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Mark, and
Yep,
good
no
luck
problem.
Saturday. Still to come on Sports Night, we go inside the numbers and find out what makes the cross-country team the way they are. Plus, find out who our Athlete of the Week is. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Both men and women's cross-country teams got the benefit of running on a familiar course this weekend as they hosted the Dan Houston Invitational at the Max Cross Country course. The women's race led things off, and the Knights took second place in the team competition. Augustana of South Dakota, ranked in the top 5 in Division II, took first overall. Leading the way for the Knights was sophomore Alana Nabnett, who took second. Hot on her heels was junior Hattie Bowder in 7th and sophomore Aaron Sawyers in 10th. The men's race came next, and Wartburg ran to a 4th place finish in the 7-team field. Augustana dominated again as the first 7 runners to cross the line all wore Viking gold. CM Reed led the Knights, finishing 12th and setting a personal record time of 25 minutes and 38 seconds. Along the way, Parker Comentino, Chase Mosier, Kevin Whaley, and Ryan Clauberdance rounded out the top 5 scorers for Wartburg.
There were some, in the middle of the guys' group, some of those guys broke lifetime best by most of them, almost a minute. I mean, and so I'm going to have to go look at the stats to figure it out, but there were some huge performances. Hattie, Bowder,
Both cross-country teams will race next weekend at Wisconsin Lacrosse. The cross-country team is known around campus for its close-knit culture, with many students joking by saying the team is even cult-like. The question we have to ask is why. This week, Kyle Pomolia infiltrates the cross-country team and makes an attempt to gain their acceptance.
The rule for cross-country seems to be, the shorter the shorts, the faster the runner. So my soccer-style shorts just didn't cut it.
Shunned already because my shorts are far too long, and I'd have to hike them up to a good. No, you don't hike them up.
Tights? Oh! What?
What's wrong with this? See, there's built-in underwear in these. I'd show you, but. So that's a big no-no. So
Quickly became apparent why the cross-country team is so close.
It's such a good-looking group of guys. I better go get a haircut tomorrow.
We love 57-year-olds on me. We love 57-year-olds on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We love 57-year-olds.
Practices for most other sports don't generally allow the players to sit and talk. Cross-country practices consist of surprise running, which while physically demanding, runners are free to talk to their teammates as much as they want. So for hundreds and hundreds of miles, runners talk to each other. They form the kind of bonds that Wartburg has come to expect from its cross-country teams.
Come on up. Chase, come on up. Pick anything you want, including the black one.
Chase, get the black one. Get the black one, Chase. You want Chase? Get the black one.
Nowhere is this bond more apparent than at the Mensa. I got the honor of joining the team for dinner as their guest.
Table, how many friends do you have that are not in cross-country?
I have a lot.
It's not the answer I'm looking for.
I don't have very many.
Are you guys okay with just freezing someone out and not talking to them if no one knows them?
No, we would never do that. We're nice people. We're very nice people. We're just misunderstood. We're just misunderstood people.
Men's cross-country seems to be a heartbeat away from streaking. Any thoughts?
Nope. I can report that the cross-country team is not a cult. Just a group of friends that shares a love of running and short shorts. Reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Kyle Pomolia.
We'll be right back, but in the final quarter of SportsKnight, we reveal who our athlete of the week is. Don't touch that remote. SportsKnight continues in 2 minutes. The women's tennis team competed in the Iowa Conference Individual Championship over the weekend. In Flight A singles, Melissa Davis advanced to the second round before losing 6-4, 6-4. In Flight B, Michelle McKenzie advanced all the way to the quarterfinals before being down 6-2, 0-6, and 1-0 by Simpson's Lindsay Nash. In the Flight B doubles, Britta Jensen and Catherine Ross made it to the semis but were defeated by Simpson 8-5. The duo came back to win the third-place match by the same score, 8-5.
Now it's time to reveal who our athlete of the week is. This week, our athlete of the week is junior cross-country runner Sam Reed. Reed finished in 12th place at the annual Dan Houston Invitational this weekend with a time of 25 minutes, 38 seconds. Sam also shattered his personal record by 29 seconds for the 4th place Knights. He will look to continue his success next weekend as the cross-country team will travel to La Crosse, Wisconsin for a meet at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of SportsKnight.
Make sure you join us Saturday for live football. Have a good week.